Hello.
Hello and welcome back. We've got Overpass once again. Dignitas taking the first one, 16-12, if I'm not mistaken. And we are back. We saw some strong strategies from Dignitas.
I want to make
on the
a point.
sites. Okay, make your point, Dan.
It was Astralis. So Astralis, they got a 5 versus 4 advantage on Overpass. And playing with advantages is like obviously a very important thing. If you get that 5 versus 4, you have to know how to play it, especially as CTs, especially as Ts in every situation. Got to know how to play your advantages, right? So they're 5 versus 4 on CT. They get the early pick off, and then they play passively. And then we saw that spot where they had 3 on B, they had 2 on A. So they got Device watching the kind of blind spot on long, and they had Kjærbye watching towards the door area, basically, from the entrance of the A bomb site outside the toilets, to spot players, potential Ts coming through from the rotation. So you've got the situation right now where Kjærbye can't push because he doesn't have any information to push. But what happens is Dignitas play around really slow because they're thinking we have to get the pick somewhere before we, and they wanted to get it on B, before we go with a play. So then the time is going to commit them. But the thing that happens is that when it gets like 25 seconds, it becomes suddenly, like that is loads of information suddenly for Kjærbye. Just that clock is all that information, which allows him to then begin pushing. So I think there's like a window of time where Dignitas think that they're okay to take that time in that position when they need to actually go in sooner. Because if you give that spot where you're committed because of time, that's information to the CTs to allow them to start making plays. Because it's a game of information, and once you have that information as a CTs, you can make the round win percentage kind of go up massively for yourself because you can start taking risks, which otherwise you can't take. So that's an interesting concept, I think, that sometimes teams don't think about.
Yeah.
Is that leaving the pick-based play until the very last second where it's like, okay, we didn't get a pick now, 25 seconds left, we have to go in. You need to do that a little bit sooner because otherwise the CTs have already started rotations. Because in that instance, Kjærbye is already into connector, so he's already got the flank set up. So that's a problem.
And
so there you go.
So it is. It looks like we're going to have Dignitas starting on the T side this time. The knife has just concluded. And indeed, there we go, straight into the game. Are they going for a fast play into the B bomb site? We have is there a double stack? Oh, it's a boost set up here from the CT side into B. And indeed, we've got 4 of the 5 players there. RUBINO holding things down on an off angle towards short B, trying to cut off that rotation. He may have Glaive coming his way soon.
Yeah, this time, hopefully for the sake of Astralis, things go a little bit better for them than the last pistol round that they had at the start of the last Overpass. And they have to make their way against 5 players. It's crazy that there's so many people that are still alive. I feel like as soon as the frags start to happen, everyone's going to die all at once. Here we go. Starts off as we have RUBINO taking down Glaive, but Astralis able to find a window in for the push here, picking up the kills as they slowly make their way onto the bomb, but they're losing players, but Dignitas are losing more here. It's just cajunb left, but that bomb, it has to be defused. It's so far ticked. Can Kjærbye get this? He's looking for the kit, does not have the kit, and he died.
He died.
He died.
Glaive was in connector, and he was looking for ages around the connector area, trying to find out where there must be a flank. There must be somebody here, somewhere. Finally goes through the door into connector, and RUBINO was standing there the entire time, shot him straight in the head. But despite the lack of flank from Astralis, they still managed to get themselves into a really good situation here. But indeed, the kit being in the wrong place gives the round to Dignitas. Kjærbye with the Deagle, looking for an opening, but he'll be moving back. You guys should tweet Device and Kjærbye and say you can't both have the same color avatar. One of you must switch to green. Dig on the rifles once again. This time they've gone for 4 rifles, the Galil being the 4th one. The previous T-pistol, they had triple AK and it wasn't enough.
I think Dignitas are going to be... We saw them run the A-long, anti-eco, anti-force buy, but now they're running the monster one, but maybe they're going to regret that. dupreeh, we talked about it, we've seen it in the last Overpass. That guy with the Deagle causes problems, and 3 versus 2 is in store right now as Dignitas. They need to get the bomb down. They've cleared out the player on short, so the bomb now can be planted finally, but there's still a chance here for Astralis.
They've got the worst weapons as well of all the weapons they had. Magic's boys upgraded to the AK, bomb's getting planted, MSL. He can't afford to risk getting off the site to pick up an AK in this situation. He needs to just go for the kill, and indeed he will. I mean, you just can't do anything about that. If dupreeh wants to shoot you in the face,
yeah, man,
and give you a significant disadvantage of 3 versus 5, he's going to do that. It's just what he's going to do.
It's really nice though, because Dignitas, obviously, they ran a really good round. That's like the other anti-force buy round. It's either a long or it's the fast B brush through monster. And sometimes you get shot in the face by Deagle. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. Nice little jump there from Kjaerbye. And Dignitas, their feelings, I think they're feeling the damage put on them by Astralis in that last round. They've got, you know, of course, they know that it's eco time still, so RUBINO's going to be on the Tech 9. He's going to lose the Tech 9 as well, actually. And oh, the dink comes in from Zipex. This is problematic again, actually. They could lose yet more players here. This is really good for... Wow, this is really good for Astralis. Another player goes down, and there's one that's still very weak.
Right, Config's got one more kill to find, but he's not checking his angles properly. That is pretty poor, and this is very winnable for Astralis now. Magic's Boy and MSL both tagged. Zipex is miles away, though, and he doesn't have a kit, so all this walking... See, he hears the players. He's telling us, Dan, I hear the players. But he doesn't have a kit. And this is wasting a lot of time, which makes me wonder if there's a kit somewhere on the site he wants to collect and go for some kind of ninja. Because otherwise, what is the plan here, Mr. Zipex? He's got the smoke down. Maybe he just wants to take players down with him, trying to bait. Indeed, he's drawing MSL like a fly, like a moth to a lamp, a moth to an open flame.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a nice play by Zipex. I love how, because there's also like loads of approaches to a round like this, and or sorry, a situation like that, and Zipex already, as you say, decided. He's like, I'm not winning this round, so he's not going to try to win the round. He's going to try to do what is like, you know, to take one player down. He's like, okay, what is the best player to play to take one player down? That best play looks a lot different to the best possible play to try to win the round with a defuse or whatever. So that's like that's a really cool. Like Zipex is one of those very smart, methodical players. Always good to watch. And moving into the fourth round here, Astralis, they got the guns. Device, he's got the AWP much earlier than he did in the previous Overpass match. Maybe that can be the difference for him.
Combined with the fact that they have done colossal damage to the economy of Dignitas. So if Dignitas lose this round, they basically can't buy, which is one of the rarer situations when you've won 3 in a row. So far, so good. MSL leading the charge. He has been playing out of his skin recently, and it continues to be doing so in this particular round. Glaive 22 HP. This is surely a save. This is surely a save for Astralis. They have been dictated to. They have had wills imposed on them. And they are surely forced to Scarpa.
I think this must have... This surely is a very frustrating couple maps for Overpass for Device so far. Because he's just not really found himself in a lot of spots for his AWP. Especially on the CT side, he's just not really been in the right places at the right times, I think. And this is another one of those rounds. And you credit Dignitas as well, because Dignitas probably realized, okay, Astralis, they're going to have the AWP. Based on what we've seen, based on what we estimate their economy to be, they're going to have an AWP here. How can we best take it out of play straight away? That could be one of the reasons why they did it. Maybe they just, or they randomly selected it. I don't know, but it worked out very well.
The Molotov. dupreeh tries to pull out a grenade to slow the approach, but it was too late, Dan. It was too late. Dignitas, it's like mouse sports on Dust 2 when on the T side, just how good they are with their grenades, especially with the flashbangs. Dignitas super sharp, not missing a trick on their executes on the T side of Overpass, or almost any map in fairness.
What happened there? He's
moving? Maybe he was moving?
I felt like he didn't pull the trigger.
What, on the first shot?
Yeah.
He did, but maybe he saw him later than we did because he will have less vision. Device, he does see him though, crawling through the smoke, MSL. He'll get taken down. And now we've got very awkward scenes on the B bomb site. Why is this happening in this situation? That's super weird. But the cleanup team is doing a good job, but Device is still lurking, creeping, and killing. Spots RUBINO. Ooh. Could have gone either way. Kjærbye to clutch now. I'm not sure if his location's been detected. No Kevlar. No kit. He needs to have the clutch of his life in this situation. Perhaps there's something to collect en route to the bomb site. Down goes Magic's Boy. Needs to speed up now. RUBINO, if he picks at the wrong time, picks at the right time. Nade in your hands. Goodbye.
Goodbye and good night. Dignitas with another round. And Astralis have made a few of these close, but they aren't closing. And Dignitas' economy slowly but surely grows and grows. And Astralis, they pick up themselves, or rather they pick up another good selection of guns. AWP onto Device. What's the play here for Dignitas this time? This time Device will have the ability to get early impact potentially. Looking for the picks, completely circumvented by the movement and the grenades of Dignitas. And look how they're sticking together here. There's so many of them. 3 players moving towards the A-Long and toilets, or rather A-Long and party area, trying to make sure that they can catch any aggression from Astralis. But Astralis actually playing very passively in this round so far.
Device around the toilets. Kjaerbye keeping an off angle towards long, where he may have a party of people coming his way. Interestingly, you don't often see a boost on the T side of this flower bed. Sway's jumping off the bench. But just like on Overpass, on a CT spawn, you'll often have one CT jump on the other one to get a faster peek into that area, but you don't really see that too much towards long from the T's. Trades around the toilets, down goes Device.
Down goes Device. 4 versus 4, and Dignitas can start to try to convert on this situation that they have for themselves. A 4 versus 2 potentially. That said, the rotation comes in quickly now for Astralis. And Kjærbye is in amongst the smoke, but he gets caught by MSL. And this is looking very problematic now for Astralis, because again we see Dignitas favoring this plant towards the toilets and falling back without ever really having to go through the arduous task of clearing the bomb site. They're like, we get the plant, and then we fall back. And Astralis this time, they couldn't catch anybody falling back, and that's really where they're vulnerable.
dupreeh's made his way towards long, but he will soon see that nobody is towards long. Going to pop flash for his teammate ZipX to peek, but cajunb is going to tighten off angle not to be susceptible to that flash. What does dupreeh do in a situation? Got another flashbang, but there's no way you defuse this bomb in a 1 versus 3. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and RUBINO closes it down. And it reminds me, James, because remember, if we think back to that time when cajunb got removed from Dignitas, removed from Astralis, and then they swapped him with Kjærbye, and a lot of people were like, you know what, it's hard to say how this looks, but Astralis at that point they still had the big name, they still had the big result. Well, they didn't really have the big results, but they were still the best team in Denmark. Now cajunb, he's made a very nice home for himself on Dignitas. Things are going very well, and it seems like he's settled in very, very nicely so far.
Yeah. I do wonder if there's a way, these plants that are coming in, this default plant, if you will, I do wonder if there's a way to, like, HE that position. Maybe looking around the bomb sites at the moment, I think the easiest way to do that would be if you were towards bank and you threw a grenade in reverse off the bank sign, just so it loops over the boxes onto the planter, because otherwise there isn't really any good angle to bounce a grenade into that position. So I'm going to have a look at that at some point offline. But for now, this anti-eco is going pretty well for Dignitas. dupreeh alone, unable to get his 2 headshots as he did in that wonderful round.
It's a cool thing. Ooh, it's a nice thing to talk about actually, because I feel like that is a really strong round. You have making that plant as Dignitas have done many times. And the way that you are going to retake the bomb site in that situation is by having someone flank. So the CT adaptation should be to have more control of sewers and more control over a fast rotation for the flank. And if Astralis are, let's say, playing really passively on B and they never have anyone in the sewers, I feel like that makes the round very strong. It reminds me of Dust 2, where you say if a team is playing 2-3 on the CT defense, the B split's very strong because the rotation time's so far. And I think it's a similar situation here. But into the next round, Dignitas is 7-0. Can this aggression, can it be what brings Astralis around?
Kjaerbye with a super tight angle, but there's no way he's going to see MSL. But MSL is going to creep for the smoke again. Yes, he is. But this time he's not going to be expecting that situation. Not sure if his teammates can capitalize on that, because they've got the device to cover them in the connector area as well. So there's no answer to this aggression of Astralis from Dignitas. ZipX spots players close towards short. That might pull a rotation. The bomb, though, is over towards B. dupreeh's been taken down in the meantime, and ZipX has to deliver. He has to deliver, but he won't. Headshot straight in the face. Man advantage for Dignitas now. Smoke coming up on the high ground.
That's a beautiful timing for aggression from RUBINO. Before the rotation can come in from the CTs, he's already in the bomb site. There's number 3. It's just Kjærbye left now against 4 players for Dignitas. So Astralis, they look like they're lost on this round as well. I don't think Kjærbye can get this done in this situation. It's very, very tough. And yeah, I mean, again, you know, Astralis, they almost settled on having the advantage. They're like, okay, we got the pick. Let's go back. And the round that I described before we really went into this second map, they could play that advantage again in the same way. But RUBINO, he goes in for the pick before Astralis have actually finished on the rotation to you know, play their advantage. And I love that. They're so smart to make the play then. And of course, he pulls it off as well with good execution on his entry frags. 8-0. 8-0.
Yeah, that is clean. That is a very clean start indeed from the Dignitas side. The pause has been called, as you can see there. Obviously, Astralis are at maximum loss bonus, but that's not doing much for them at the moment. 8-0. Speaking of zero.
Yeah. What about Glaive? What about Glaive, James?
What about Glaive? 0 kills in 8 rounds on the CT side is less than ideal, that's for sure.
That's been a thing, though. Like you said, very spotty performances so far with Astralis. And you, again, like I said, you can kind of say, all right, on the T side, if you are really having a situation where you're micromanaging everyone, then sure, that's going to happen. But you know, it has to go away at some point. This has to go away at some point.
Yeah, but how long do you... I mean, it's still very, very early, I think it's fair to say, for this Astralis side.
It is early, but at the same time, they're playing league matches. You know, this could be... It's a very impactful time to be in this position.
Yeah, same could be said for Godsent as well.
Oh dear.
Life has not been stellar for the Godsent side.
No, it has not. It's a bit of a shambles at the moment across the board for a lot of these teams with all these recent changes. But Dignitas are looking pretty steady. In contrast, MSL has been making are having like good individual performances here or there.
Yeah, speaking of in-game leaders, he has been a beast for his team recently, and maybe that's what's making the difference at the moment.
Yeah, I think general comfort's been found, but we're back into this one now, and I thought we didn't have game sounds for a minute. It was very quiet, but now we can see that the action is beginning. Kjærbye's looking for his quick pick, but a quick pick it will not be. Instead, he's got Glaive, who is looking to make his first frag, maybe, with that 5-7 on long. But there is a cajunb and a multitude of teammates.
A multitude.
A multitude of teammates nearby. Teammates in the multiples. And teammates in the multiples will win.
Almost stereo frags for Dignitas in that situation. Half buy here for Astralis. May not be up to much in this situation. Device is in a flanking position though, so perhaps, especially with this smoke grenade from Zipex, perhaps he can slow down the team. Maybe this even causes a rotation towards the toilets, although Zipex's flank is very slow. Sorry, Device's flank is very slow indeed. But yes, it will cause a rotation. So interestingly, despite the lack of strong position for Device at the moment, Dignitas are playing into the hands of Astralis by rotating elsewhere. And you can see on the mini-map, Device is eventually going to get there. I do wonder if it's going to be too late, though. Yeah, so, I mean, that was the slowest rotation of all time. Unfortunately, it's not going to pay off. I mean, there was still a chance for Dignitas to, for example, go back to the B-bomb site. But, indeed, so much potential if the rotation was a bit quicker. But there we go. Say la vie or whatever.
Look at all that gold on the scoreboard there. Round after round after round after round. Astralis having a hard time. I want Glaive to finish the match with 0 frags. Does that make me an evil person, James?
Possibly does.
I guess it actually does. It's not very nice. Not a very nice thing.
But why? But why do you want him to?
I'm going to rescind
That's the question.
I think just because I want it like an extreme exaggeration or extreme example of the point. That's, you know, whatever's causing him to have bad performances, it's got to go away soon for Astralis, of course. Anyway, Astralis in this round, they don't have the AWP, but they have a decent amount of utility, and they're playing it very passively here. So The thing about playing very passively against Dignitas is Dignitas as a team, as we've seen, they're very comfortable with going for set pieces, and if you allow them to execute their set pieces, let's say the wall of smokes we've seen on the A site, where they then after plant from the toilets position, that's really strong. You do not want to allow them to have either one, enough utility or players to effectively do that. So I think pressure is definitely a strong way to attack Dignitas' T side, but Astralis, they've not been finding too much success with the pressure, so they're going to be mixing it up here, and let's see if it works out, because perfect timing to come in for a play, and that's what I'm talking about, but it's a 1-for-1, and right now, Dignitas so close, they're going to wrap around for the trade, but where's the trade at?
MSL smartly waiting, letting his teammates do the job for him, but they're not doing any job, apart from dying. That is the first round on the board for Astralis and the first kill on the board for Glaive. 2 at once. They'll be happy with that, as happy as you can be in said situation, which is maybe not so happy after all.
That was a dupreeh played out of his skin there. How does he get 3 kills when he's getting wrapped in that position? And that was, they had to make a play there. If they don't make a play there, set piece comes in and they definitely lose a round, or they're very likely to lose a round, I think. So that was really nice from dupreeh. He's been playing well overall, actually.
dupreeh.
Like a bit of dupreeh? Dupreeh.
It's been a while since the Get dupreeh show.
Oh, yeah. Get dupreeh.
Yeah, that was good. Good times. Good times were had. Not good times for cajunb, down to less than 10 HP. cajunb with less than 10 HP. Could get taken down by the wallbangs. Speaking of which, there goes Magic's boy. There goes cajunb as well. We've got a 2-man spray down through the wall.
Oh my god. That should not be allowed. Simply should not be allowed. Well, Dignitas in a 3 versus 5. It's a situation where you got to find a big individual play. MSL is going to try to open things up, and he's going to be successful. Picks up the kill on the A bomb side, but his teammates are so far away, and there's players just there's players all over the place here for Astralis, all across the map, and both RUBINO and Config will be riddled with bullets. And MSL, his chances of winning this round now have just gone down the drain, as he is going to die. And a 9-2 scoreline is what we're looking at the moment. But how long? How long can Astralis hold on to this momentum? Is it momentum yet? I don't even know if it is yet, because they still have to break the buys of Dignitas.
Yeah, I mean they could. You know, the 6-9 is there's potential for a 6-9. That's what I meant to say. My English is failing me. There is potential for a 6-9, but indeed the road is long and potentially arduous. Kjaerbye back to old tricks. He's made his way past the angle, I believe, because Config's holding a grenade in his hand, which would suggest that they have not seen him cross the trajectory. Well, he capitalized the RUBINOs on a late rotation, so he could catch Kjaerbye off guard unless Kjaerbye will hear the running. He hears the running. Oh no, he turns away! He turns away! He gets a kill, but that's all he can do. It could have been 2, could have been 3, but it will only be 1 for the time being. Pushing through the smoke now, feeling trapped perhaps. Glaive will punish.
Yeah, nice kill there on the toilets area for Astralis. Config's going to have to make his way around. Along, he's got to make the play in the bomb site. And it's really good, actually. He picks up the kill onto Zipex. The bomb site's been cleaned completely. And all that work that Kjaerbye did with that push, even though it was only 1, you would have wanted, or expected at least, a handy advantage for Astralis. But instead, it is a crippling disadvantage for dupreeh, who has been playing well individually so far. But this is a bit too much to ask for, I think. Just going to be chilling. Just a pizza box there. Some empty beer cans. Not much fun over there.
There's a pizza box in the studio, Dan.
There is actually, yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure it's not from today.
Yeah, probably not.
You know what it is, Dan? It's disgusting.
I'll make sure that's binned afterwards.
So, all of 2 rounds for Astralis. 2K in the bank for dupreeh. Doesn't look good. Dignitas have an opportunity to have quite a dominating half here. Dignitas are a team who I wouldn't say have consistently beaten opponents and been, you know, towards the upper end of league tables and so on. Always been towards the middle or the lower end, like just scraping through to finals, just missing out on finals, and so on and so forth. You do wonder if the tides of change are here for Dignitas, the way things are going at the moment. Astralis on a good buy, and Kjaerbye sees the bomb, takes 1. That trade, though, is not favourable for the CT side.
And down to that 4 versus 4. Very early on for the 4 versus 4, which is great for a T side. But Astralis, do they want to play this textbook? Usually the CTs want to get aggressive, get some information to try to understand how to play against the T side, what they're setting up to do. And I like this. This is halfway for Astralis. Instead of doing that exactly, they just take forward positioning for the B players in sewers. So they have a fast rotation to help out A. Glaive, though, needs to be able to stop or get a kill or two in this position to really allow that rotation to come in a timely manner from the flank. Although it's only going to be one rotator now in dupreeh. dupreeh will be the flank man. His teammates need to buy him time. That kill might allow dupreeh to start going for the flank now, as we have the push being committed to by Dignitas, or perhaps maybe not. As they take the kill into Glaive, they can still go back if they want, but they have no idea what's going on behind them. In goes the kill of Config onto Device, and now problems for Astralis.
Zipex is, well, he did some work, but not enough. dupreeh going for the flank, and again, the bomb might get planted in the wrong position. Are they willing to plant it on the right one? Well, it's down. dupreeh couldn't do anything about it. RUBINO's heavily tagged. There is opportunity for 1 versus 1 here for dupreeh, namely against RUBINO. He may be the sacrificial lamb who the head is surely spotted, but dupreeh unable to make a fatal connection, and the run of success continues for Dignitas.
Yes, what a great run it's been so far. 11-2. What a difference as well. I mean, the first map, they definitely looked like the better team. But now, you know, we're really seeing just a cripplingly poor CT side for Astralis. And if you consider how, you know, the performances individually have been a little bit worse on the T side for Astralis, the hope really it can't be looking too good for them at the moment. It looks pretty abysmal at the moment. Either way, Astralis were very forward set up here with these pistols, with these UMPs. Let's see if they can get something done. Device finds himself one. Sees the second player. Will he go for the repeak now to see if he can possibly make things a bit easier for his teammates? The bomb's at his feet as well, but not really going to play a part just yet.
Astralis with a dangerous setup in connector. Magic Spoy is waiting. 2 targets. Doesn't know which one to pick. And he will fall. This is not a good start for Dignitas. 3 players left, one of which is an AWP. That's less than ideal. RUBINO, though, has cleaned up the B bomb site, or at least he thinks so, but dupreeh's in short B. So if there's a rotation, he could cut it off. That said, the bomb is still headed towards A, where Zipex is creeping with a CZ. Both bomb sites quite dangerous at the moment. And there we go, the bomb moving in on its own. And again, that shows the awkwardness of the AWP. cajunb forced to just wait at the back. Now RUBINO is planting it for CT, even though his teammates over towards toilets. Let's see what happens. We've got 2 players coming from different directions now. Glaive is miles away, but he has an AK.
dupreeh's got the deagle. Oh, there it is. The shot straight to the chest. dupreeh so good with deagles, man. Now it's just going to be cajunb with the AWP. He's been quite on point so far, but we haven't seen too many clutch situations for him. But that's a good start to this one. dupreeh's going to just go straight onto the bomb there. Comes off it. Oh, cajunb looking very, very confident there. Decisive kill. 12-2.
I guess the priority was for Dignitas to get the bomb down as fast as possible, as opposed to plant it forward for the teammate's position. Because you saw that the bomb was not planted for cajunb. If dupreeh has a defuse kit there, that's probably GG.
The GGs, the good games. This has not been a good game for Astralis so far. This has not been a good game for them. Gonna try to keep on the shenanigans here. So yeah, it's rare to see the that boost at the moment, or at least I haven't seen too much. Magic Spoy starts off the proceedings there. Kill onto Glaive, and Suez control here for Dignitas, setting up the B play.
Device in an interesting position. Very quickly, the CTs are picking up some frags. AWP shot missed, but Config will clean up that nonsense. Still a man advantage for Astralis, still with Device and an AK-47. We've got the pot flash coming through to Monster Tunnel, and RUBINO will spot a player towards the barrels. Surely he did. Surely, or perhaps not. Will he overextend? dupreeh spotted now, dupreeh taken down. Device still alive with the AK, but he's out of position. The B-bomb site's been cleared up. Short has been smoked. Is he willing to go through it?
RUBINO has been pretty solid, but now it's onto Device. Not had the best game either. There's the first player spotted, easy frag. Second player comes up. RUBINO just seen for a flash and immediately takes down Device. 13-2. That is a significant half for Dignitas. Looks like they have somewhere to be.
That is a spectacular performance from them, but are they able to close it out with this pistol round? if they win the pistol, Astralis have to force buy every round. That's the situation they are in. No grenades on the Astralis side. They have gone for Kevlar. They have opted for Bedlam, Carnage, and Sheer Violence. All 10 players with Kevlar. Not every day you see this kind of thing, especially not on Overpass. Many players spotted, but how far will Dignitas push here? They don't want to overextend. The numbers game is with the T's in this situation, and so it shows the headshots.
Headshots all over the place here. Nice opportunity for Astralis, but cajunb's tapping away. Another one comes. Oh no! Poor Astralis, just dupreeh left. Got the Glock in hand. cajunb working on that ace. Is he going to be able to pull it out of the bag right now? Because dupreeh's going to be going into a long stolen though. Config picks up the kill. dupreeh goes down. And they had the man advantage, looks so good, but it's a pistol round, James. Doesn't matter how many men's alive. How many men's alive?
That's not the first time we've seen cajunb do that on a pistol. I think there was a map of Cash where he had a really disgusting performance over towards the A site as well. He is very strong with the pistols, as shown by that first frag there, and the patience on the second one. Lovely stuff by cajunb, drags Dignitas to 14 rounds, or their 14th round rather.
And now it's the Tech9s here on Astralis to try to bring them into some kind of situation that might be favorable. And already spotted his glaive, already fragged. Magic's boy able to get a really good position in the chaos of the smokes. And things just looking very poor here for Astralis. They were not able to get all their men's, James, in the same position to utilize the men's advantage.
Well, what little men's they have left.
Exactly.
Zipex and device with the bomb. But again, it's forced by every round territory. Did Zipex just Tony Hawk down those stairs? I think he did.
I only played one Tony Hawk game, but it was awesome.
The second one, you missed out, mate.
The second one was the one I played. It was really good.
The second one was basically the first one for a lot of people, including me.
Yeah, it was really good. Oh, well, the music's just coming back into my head because that's what that game was really about as well. The music.
There's the music to MSL's ears. Quite painful though. Ooh, there was potential for more, but it is death by paper cuts in what could be the second last round of this match. 15-2, $2,000 per person. Show me the deagle, dupreeh. Show me the deagle.
The deagles, let's go. There it is. dupreeh on the deeg. And Glaze actually had a much better time of things. He was on 0-5 for so long, but now he's managed to get himself onto some kills, which is good. But so far, it's all been about Dignitas. Dignitas and more Dignitas, as they just have one more round to close down. And this Suez aggression is going to give a lot of info. And I believe Dignitas can hear exactly what's happening. And MSL's going to go into the flanking position already. The flanking is just coming in so quickly. If Magic's boy is able to slow this down, he goes down. So he won't be able to slow it down. These teams have to get them. Oh, no, into the spray, into the fire. Team kill comes out as well. What are you going to do? 16-2, Dignitas secure the win against Astralis. What on earth was that?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the interesting things you get with a double maps. First, you have a solid score, and then you have a complete wipeout in the second go of it, second iteration, the second coming or something.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Whatever. The second Overpass. Maybe I'll just settle with that. So a stark difference. We're going to focus on the second game, which I'm sure Wienecke will enjoy with all of 2 rounds on one of these teams. Anyway, he will debut on ECS Season 2 after this break.